Hello, you're watching episode 223 of Nugget's Dungeon Terrain. In this episode, I'm continuing with some fantasy inserts and sleeves. This time I'm going to add it to a normal dungeon setting instead of a cave one. Just a reminder that my third Dungeon Crawler Kickstarter campaign is now up and running. Here's a link in the description below. So my aim is to be able to take these basic dungeon tiles and each time I play to be able to change the terrain that's inside to transform the setting from one type of dungeon to another. I'm not talking about small pieces of scatter terrain though, I'm talking about sleeves and inserts that transform the tile into something totally different. And just like in the last episode, I'm looking to turn the objective room into something memorable and dimensional. So the theme that I'm covering today is a Thieves maze. I've had a crack at this a couple of times. If you look back at the playlists in Nugget's Dungeon Terrain, you'll see that there's one listed as Thieves Maze where you can check them out. So a piece that covers the floor section, I'm calling an insert. Here are some different kinds. Firstly, a pit. This is a good one for isolating the players, and like most of these, is going to be some skill tests. Next up is a spiked pit. If this was placed next to high terrain, this could be some kind of drop pit, but I'm actually planning on having this as something the characters have to navigate and walk through. The next one's a little bit more steampunk. It's going to have different nozzles coming up out of the floor that release jets of flame. The players will need to be careful where they stand. Again, this could have some kind of gantry or overpass, and the pit becomes something that you drop into. However, I'm planning on it being something that the heroes have to walk through and fight the tentacles as they go. Because the tentacles are flexible, I can also use them to hold the minis. The first of the four sleeves and the large pipes could have almost anything coming out of them, from cannonballs to insects to acid or hot oil. The other advantage of a sleeve is it offers an area that can be raised. The heroes could stand on this to avoid the floor. In case swinging weapons doesn't make any sense, just think of the wipeout wall. Here's a side profile of the sleeve. And here are the weapons that are going to be inserted into it. Two sets of these would be good, one on each side of a narrow passage. This one could potentially be included anywhere in the dungeon, from the objective room to a T-junction. On the overhanging beam there are going to be some magnets so that I can have some interchangeable traps. This is a really good chance for characters to demonstrate their agility and problem solving. From this angle you might be able to notice on the lowest step there's also three nozzles where darts or flames or something like that will shoot out. Here's the piece sleeving into a T-junction. And because all the traps are modular, I can face this one to guard the third exit of the T-junction. This one is designed specifically to be the objective room. It takes some skill and athleticism for thieves to climb up out of the end of the maze. There's a slot in the wall section for one of my modular traps, and a couple of ledges and ladders to separate the party, and a nice wide ledge to put some kind of monster at the end that's guarding the exit. Here's another look at that wall slot. I just dropped one pin in there. Here's the magnetized traps from episode 167. They fit in the slot, attaching to a pin. Thanks again for watching, and thank you to all of my new subscribers and the people who've gone across to check out Deep Abandon on Kickstarter and supported the campaign so far.